Let's move that up there. So I'm continuing work on Vigilante, and uh, the game has been published, but I want to keep adding features to it. Now, I have a couple different paths that I've been considering on how and what I should be doing. The first one is that I took a lot of shortcuts in producing this one to get it out the door. And now that I have it out the door, I want to rebuild it. I want to put the proper physics system in there. I want to spend a little bit more time on that this time around. Basically, there's limitations in the current physics model. I'm dependent on game objects like rigid body, and I've developed basically, I didn't have the math skills or I didn't have the math understanding for recreating add force at point. So basically you have an object and I add a force over on this corner of it, so it makes the object tilt like that. I didn't have the personal math skills to do that, but I've figured out how to do it finally. And so I've got a functional system up and running. Now, some of the math inside it, I don't understand completely, but I understand a lot more of it. Anyway, so I actually have a copy of it sitting up right now. This one. So looks very unimpressive, but in my opinion, to me, this is one of the more impressive items because there is no rigid body on this to apply the forces. It is figuring out where it is in relation to the ground and leveling itself out. Like right now, the object is just being used for the transform and the rotation. Oh, sorry, the parent item. So if I try to move it, I can't move this object. I can't alter its position. I mean, if I pause it, that'll do it, but it'll snap back in. So if I pause it and then move it over and then I play again, it snaps back to where it was. But I can, where's that? Rotate. Like that. Let's do that one and press play. That's an interesting cutoff on the shadow there. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I rotated the cube inside. That was a mistake. Z. Let's go to this one. Rotate the parent object. There. Now play. Oh, and there. Play. So we can watch the object level itself out and eventually slow down to a stop. Let's see. Do I have something in here? No, I don't have the stabilization like the air dampening inside of this one. Also, select stream, refresh. There. Okay. And I need to bring up the view from this one. Let's go to here. I have no view of what's going on in the chat right now, so I'm trying to jump into that one. There we go. However, this is not the way that I wanted to get into it. I want the actual view of it. So YouTube. I want to see the analytics. It gives me better alerts and notifications when messages pop up. So content live. There. All right. So I can now see what's going on. Now, if I recreate the physics system, there's a separate problem with this. Not the physics system itself, but the game design. There's a lot of elements that I have for the primary play in the video game, and there's some element just for like the story, for the type of things going on in the world, the different things you can do that I didn't put into this game just to get something out. And I want to start adding those, which some of it just includes extra features that I can add. Some of it includes a larger, more expansive world. Some of it includes the better physics system so that I could put up 10,000 cars in it. And where else was I going with that? It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I can upgrade, I can start building out the current game or building up this new engine, or I can go back to the old one and do upgrades and features on that one. But I'm going to be fighting with Unity on it for some of it. Now, honestly, I think it's reasonable that I do both. I want to start, I'll focus a little bit more on the actual gameplay of Vigilante 41. There's another thing that I want to get into here, and that's the junkyard. So basically, you start out in the game as effectively poor. There's supposed to be a strong class system in the side of this game, and you don't have much money. You're able to get by month to month by racing, where you basically race in junkyard derby type races. And that gives you enough credits to get by. But of course, you want to expand your footprint in the world. You want to do better. So you are trying to, you're going out to like junk sites and stuff like that to find equipment that you can upgrade. All right. So let's, I did have several versions where I've started to generate something along those lines. I want to start taking a look at some assets I can pull in, and also consider visual design upgrades in the game. And there's also one other thing that I need to solve, and that's the engine sounds. When typing on the keyboard for arrows, the engine power goes from 0% to 100%, and then letting go of the key, it goes back down to 0% instantly. And so the engine sounds also does the same thing. 0% on one of the engine sounds goes up to 100% and then suddenly snaps back down to 0. And it's kind of a jarring sound. So I wanted to improve that one and give more of a sound velocity. All right, let's see. I guess sound velocity will be the first one that I'm focused on for now. Let's go into here, put this one in, expand that out. Oh, stop this. I don't need that running. All right, so the sound comes from the engine sounds, which is probably something in here. Audio controller, there we go. Which one is it? Transform, race start. It's neither of those. There we go. Get rid of the extra stuff. All right. What is that? What? Oh, I'm looking at existing decompiled code. All right. All right, so over here, what do we have? Audio source, engine speed, audio source, engine force. Now we've got these different systems for what our volume is. And what do we have? Minimum engine speed pitch, max engine speed pitch. We also need a volume impulse. So volume, public, float, volume, impulse equals, and I'll put this as 1F for now. So basically this is the amount of time it takes for the sound to catch up. And I guess that should be lower than that right now, or the speed at which it catches up. So a higher number actually does better. No, I'll do a lower number. It makes it better. So in this case, 0.1 means it takes 0.1 seconds to get caught up. So I have an exact number coming out of it. All right, 0.3. Okay, so we have a rise in the sound. That means that when we are changing our power level, we also need to store basically the non-pitch. We need the engine speed, engine force. We need those to alter slowly. Oh yeah, I guess so. Engine speed pitch, let's create one for that. Okay, and I guess I'll do the same thing again. But this one's going to be engine speed, pitch, impulse. All right, now this one we get rid of the max value, and we're going to duplicate this one, and this one will be impulse. That's how much it changes over a short period of time. Okay, and the last one is this one. Impulse. All right, so now we've got these extra fields inside of here. Now this is what we need to start manipulating. So when the engine force is greater, we need to start getting ourselves to that engine force. So in that case, it is the lerp speed. Lerping makes it about one of the easiest ways to do it, but I think I'm going to operate that one a little bit differently. Okay, so updates. In update, I need this one to be applying the power. So, okay, we've got pitch. We're transitioning. What is the speed? Wait a second. What is speed? Car drive pressure. Car drive pressure I just take instantly to be 100%. But in this one, I've got speed, average force, and this one, which basically affects how far we can go. Oh, it's just instantly setting the volume. Got it. So I need to let those numbers increase over time. In that case, I'm going to get rid of this stuff. I'm going to get rid of these extra ones, and we'll take a different approach to this. No, let's keep it. All right. So inside of this one, we need engine. Yeah, we got our average force over there. So we are reducing those. These are what the volume levels that we want them to get to. But we can't let it happen instantaneously, just like the keyboard press instantaneously raises the power to 100%. All right, so in this case, I need to start manipulating the data first. That data is going to be things like the engine speed pitch. All right, so we've got speed, and now we're going to say engine, engine speed pitch equals math f dot lerp, and we're going to lerp from, let's see, our current value, engine speed pitch. Oh, and in this case, it's not the impulse. I just want this as a low value. So we're just going to say 0.1. 0.3. Let's do that for the other ones too. That should be 0. This one should be 0.3. This one should be 0. And this one should be 0.3 and 0. Good. We got those values. So we're going to take the pitch as we have it right now, and we want to bring it to the value that we're trying to reach at this point. So in this case, we have speed. Why did that enter that over there? where is it getting speed from? We gather speed from car pressure, then we seek out average force and peak force. Okay, that's fine. So engine speed, and then we want the pressure, the impulse. Which one is this? Engine speed pitch. Okay. And this one also needs a multiplier for the delta time, times time dot delta time. And then where we use this, we were using speed directly before, but now we're using something to soften that impact. So this one gets used for speed. This one gets used for speed. Okay, next we need average force and peak force. So let's go with engine. This one. No, this one. And this one. Have to finish the other line first. All right. Okay. The volume equals mathf dot lerp from our current one, this one. And the alternate value is going to be average force, comma, and then what do we need? The impulse. So it's this thing. Oh yeah, get rid of. Stop jumping ahead. Engine force dot compare to. Oh yeah, times time dot engine force volume times impulse times time dot delta time. All right, now this one can be fixed. Let's just take the same thing, Control CVV. Okay, now I need this one to replace the use of average force, and this one to replace the use of peak force. Okay, sound should be dealt with, and I believe sound comes through this thing now too. All right, let's get back into the game. Play. Start. Oh, play. All right, start. Where's my sound? Oh, I'm going through the... I need to switch audio headsets. So that is... much better. Okay, that speed duration is way too slow. I'm going to increase the number a bit. So over here we have the different pitches, and I'm going to change this to 1, 2, 1, and 2, 1. Play. Okay, that is much better. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, I'm happy with the sound now. Let's get that one updated. Where's that? Not what I'm looking for. LS. Also not what I'm looking for. Control C. F CD projects CD Vigilante. Okay, get dot get commit dash M. Audio is smoother now. Engine audio. Okay, cool. Oh, wait a minute. Did I save my scene? Let's see if this makes any changes. Get dot anything. Nothing. Okay, good. Get status. Perfect. Okay, so audio's in place. I also needed to start adding color, and I need to start working on the junkyard. So let's see, the world is pretty gray, which it was supposed to be. Like the focus, the city is supposed to be the background, the traffic is supposed to be the background. And now I want to start putting some elements to bring life to this, which means I need some neon signs or something along those lines. The ultimate game is not supposed to use neon signs. It's supposed to be more like holographics for everything. But that could still look neon. Oh, what game? Scene. Go back to the main view, lighting. Yeah, I've got enough ambient lighting to allow us to see the buildings, which is what I wanted, and then primarily bloom effects. Next, I could put art in, or how would I do the junkyard? I have to question the junkyard at this point. The original design of this is supposed to be a much larger, more expansive game, more story elements to get to there. And the junkyard is supposed to be one of these extra things that we head off to go start collecting things that our mechanic friend can start tearing apart, seeing if they can get anything good out of it, and upgrade our current junk of a car. Now, right now, we have what I consider is more the mid-level car in the game, at least by graphics for what I was figuring in the plan. Actually, I'm not even planning on using this one in the end, but I don't want to upgrade this car model yet because then I also have to upgrade all of the traffic car models. Which car model did I use for that? So traffic car, this one. Yeah, where's my, I just want that one. Thank you. And I wanted to see the size comparison. Okay, so the normal traffic car is a little bit smaller. All right, but and all of the cars use the same thing. So I was also planning on putting extra line and detail work that's going to be happening to separate out the cars where we add color. Not what I have in there right now. So, but Junkyard, I think, gives more playability to the game. The Junkyard is supposed to be this exploration point where we can search for materials. And I think that's a good way to go with the mechanic that, oh, yeah, we split out the mechanic in this one. So maybe I set it up so that the mechanic is both looking for money and we're also looking for equipment. And so we can't just upgrade. We need stuff to upgrade. Oh, I like that one. And then the junk would start to refine which items we get. We could spend a lot of credits and go buy something more expensive to get that upgrade automatically. Or we find the junk that helps us get to it, and then we could spend less to make that work. Like, yes, this will work in our system, but we do need to buy this part to convert it. All right, so now I need a method to get to the junkyard. In the primary game lore, that's supposed to be not really a legal thing to do, or you can, but it's like going into a junkyard as is. Like, you can go to some junkyards and look around and dig through like the old cars and stuff that they have there and see about removing parts. But a lot of them, the junkyards are kept locked up. They have all the cars there. And then if you want something, you tell them what it is that you want and they'll see if they can find it. They'll usually have their own list of what's available, what kind of cars they have in there, what things those cars might have, so they can just quickly look it up. And then it'll tell them roughly where it is. Someone can go out and find it. Now, that gives the junkyard the control over how much money they get from this stuff. They can sell the parts. But if people just go in freely, that's a completely different story. And that's supposed to be the same in this one. Someone's making money off of keeping the junkyard. So this actually would be a great spot to like exit. The problem is that I don't really have good spots to exit. Like, this is a large mesh. So one mesh, let's see, does the trench get split up at all? No, this is it. This is literally the mesh right here. However, what if I just put like a gate there? I need a way to transition so you can drive there. It'll have an interesting reason to be able to get there, but also signal like this is not a normal way that you can go. Oh, this makes sense. Okay, so in the game, this is actually just a complete accident, but this bottom one doesn't have water. This is supposed to be water inside of this, but this one is empty. And the water didn't get included here. But if I go up to some of the other ones, I mean, you can see the water inside of those lines. So there's water over there. There's water over there. But this one doesn't have it. And maybe that's the fact that this is broken is the reason that we can get to the junk site. And now, why would it have water in it? This has to have some sort of vent. It's like a drain system or something along those lines. The water doesn't make much sense in the system I'm building or aiming to get, but I can put a vent cover here. And as long as I drive up to it, it's got something that stands out. Now let's start figuring out what art I can use for it. All right. Where do we go? I don't want to pull in the full asset bundle. That's always a pain. All right, let's go find where our assets are stored. C drive, users, Dan, app data, roaming, Unity, editor, back, asset store. Okay, these are all the assets or that I've downloaded packages. Add sounds, animal. What is this one? 3D models, environment, sci-fi. Okay, copy. And let's extract this thing. What was the project for it? Do I have that in here? No. Do I have it in Visual Studio? Extract asset bundles. So this is a project that I wrote a little while ago that takes an asset bundle file, and all you do is you copy it to memory, or you copy the path to it to memory. Or in this case, you copy the file, and then this gets the path from that file information. And it generates it. So let's play it. should have everything that I need now, and it should start processing and filling the data. Right now, it's just reading the data because it's a zip file, and the way they process and store it, they've got a folder for every single asset. Now it's creating it. There we go. But each one of those folders just has a GUID for the folder name. Packages has assets and packages. What's this? Oh, this is how it tells. I haven't opened one that had the had this inside of it. So in other words, it's telling us which system it wants to have inside of here. It wants to have video, VR, wind. Okay, it can use wind. I guess that's what it's saying. It's got scripts that use wind. Okay, any issues? No. I'm not concerned about that one though. Let's go over into assets, D-Link, platform city, and then prefabs. I can't really just pull that in. Decoration, signs. Okay. Now, one of the things I added with this is that when it extracts it, I also give a preview image of what's on there. So, okay, these are sign decorations that show stuff, pictures to put in the game. Not what I'm looking for. All right, city planter miscellaneous, garbage can. Okay. Oh, these are like glasses of drinks. Okay, not concerned. Lab furniture, exterior details. No. Interesting though. No, I need something that's going to be more like a gate. Let's go to city blocks. Building, border wall, exterior doors. What do we got? The PNG also doesn't really give a great reference of what we're looking at. So I can only take an idea from it, and then I have to import the rest. Border wall, buildings, elevation, fence, floor and roof, exterior platform, ramps and stairs, underblock. What is underblock? I guess these are support beams, maybe? All right, which one is this? D-Link Platform City. Where's my asset store? Unity Asset Store, D-Link, Platform City. Not what I'm looking for. Also not what I'm looking for. Okay, let's just get into it, and then I'll try searching from their site directly. Oh, actually, yes, I want to log in. Hey, I think they fixed that. Usually it has me logged in when I load the page, and then is like, oh, sorry, it's not you, and then kills whatever I was in the middle of doing, whatever page I was on, and sends me back to this page saying that, oh, you're not actually logged in. You can't do any of the stuff that I said you could do right then. All right, so packages. All right, and now inside of here, let's search for D-Link. Nope. Okay. Platform City. There we go. View full details. Oh, okay. I know this one. Let's take a look and see if there's anything that seems reasonable as like a gate here, because this style doesn't really match too much. It's more meant for internal, for like people walking around. Okay, so the doors aren't bad, but I don't want this to be like a real door. I want this to be some kind of like a darkened gate. So that one doesn't work. All right, let's see. What else do I have? Let's get out of Platform City. There. Dot team. 3D environment model, sci-fi. Oh, heavy station kit. Perfect. Copy. And now where's my code? Run it. Again, this is extracting out the file folder, or all the information that I'm getting from it. Let's put that back. And we're getting assets. Heavy station kit. And finished. Good. Okay, base. Prefabs. Doors. PNG. Okay. Oh, it doesn't have a picture of the PNG. However, let's go over to Heavy Station Kit and take a look at that one for a second. Heavy Station Kit. They've got a newer one out that I was interested in. Yeah, why did you need to refresh that? Okay. Oh. Did they come out with a new version of that? Well, again, why are you refreshing it? The page was there. Oh, you need to authenticate that I'm still me. Like 20 seconds later than after the last time that you authenticated and made sure it was still me. Got it. All right. Doors, gateways. This could work. Okay, yeah, I'll take this one. To get this one in, let's just go over to assets, kit. Does it have any packages or anything it needs? No, just this one from here. Fine. We'll grab the whole thing initially. I'll extract what I need from it, and then I will remove it before I commit. So let's go on inside of this. Copy. And then I need the game. Right there. Show and Explorer. Back down to assets and... Oh, I've still got the basic one there. Wonder why that's taking so long to copy. The initial extraction was really fast. While it's running, I still can't exactly use Unity, at least not this version of it. Okay, so I'm pulling... Oh, there we go. Must have been a lot of small files. Okay, skip these files. We already have them. Next, Heavy Station Kit, base. Oh, go into here. Let it re-import. On the separate version of the project, I've got the basic physics operation. This one is operating without rigid body now. Hey, why is that one taking so long? All right, so this is operating without rigid body. This is my own physics code now. I didn't put in numbers that I could tune for its dampening forces or friction. But that system is really close to complete at the moment. Yeah, it's still importing. Junkyard. If I'm doing the junkyard work, then I should also have a junkyard prefab. Blender time. So junk is usually pretty easy to make low poly to get some nice effects on it. Something quick and easy in Blender. So I can just basically take a cube and make a 6-sided random disfigured object and then somewhat mechanical looking in nature. All right, so let's get rid of the extra stuff that I don't need. I don't need the camera. I don't need the light. I just got a basic cube. Tab to get to the individual surfaces. 3 for the face. And then come back here. E to extrude. Sure. Scale. E. Go up like that. Nope, right there. give a different look. Numeric dot to zoom into the new focus. I'm going to do this one, and let's go with this side too. E, 1 meter, and we'll do the same on the other side. This one and this one, E, 1 meter. All right, that gives me something to work with. Now we're going to take this and this, and let's go I, 0.5. Not quite what I was looking for. Let's change that to 1. No. Way too big. 0.1. There we go. Much better. Do the same thing on the other side. Select that and that. I and 0.1. Enter. Okay, select all these sides together, and we are going to extrude. Okay, that's cutting into there. That's fine. Now we're going to do S. Okay, cool. That's one side. Done. Let's do one other thing here. E. S. There. Done. One more yet again. S. Bring that in. Yeah, I don't like that one. Control Z. All right, cool. That one's done. Now the other side. Should I bring those faces down? No, leave it. Doesn't matter. Okay, 3. Select this side. We'll go with this one now. E. And then let's split this one. Subdivide, sure. Focus on that. Let's see, which axis is this? GX. All right, that works. Now let's select this face, 3. Oh, I hate when it does that. I get the triangles on different sides. So like this triangle cuts off there, but then this one is split over here. So it doesn't cut off there. Like, wait a minute, can I do a wireframe? Show me the wireframe. No, I want to see the wireframe with all the rest of the triangles it put in. I don't like that. Okay. I'm going to get rid of these 2 faces. Delete face. Let's go back to normal view. All right. Now let's reconnect them. 1, select. Did I just move that? There. One. F. Thank you. And then same over here. Now, while the actual cuts in the other one show that that same cut line is there, it's not. So let's take this 3 and now delete this side as well. I don't know a faster way to do this in Blender faces. I don't know a faster way to do it. Blender is my primary tool for this. So anyway, let's go back to 1. Check, 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 and F. Check, check, check. F. Check. F and shift select those, F to add the face. Okay, so now that I got these in there, let's select each individual face. We need 3 to select a face, and then I go to E to extrude, and then let's go 1. Okay, here, E2 extrude 1, E1, and E1. Okay, let's bring this out again. This, and this. And now we're going to go E2. That needs to be on the X there. Okay, so we've got another object. It doesn't stick out quite as far. So that's one of the things about this. You want the different sides to stick out about the same distance to make this work. So let's do extrude again. X2. Okay. That's maybe a little bit longer, but let's try this. S. And then GX. There we go. Okay, next. Let's extract this side. Make something out of that. E. There. Okay, so now I've got that part to work with. Let's do this one. There. And there. S. Okay, so now let's grab the top one. The whole thing should be reduced, so let's go GY. There. Now, E1, G, Y, no, E1. See the same on this side. E1. It's I and E1 S Z. Oh, enter. There. Now I want to bring these in a little bit. So let's go E and S Z. There. Okay, now let's do this one and divide this one. Subdivide. And subdivide again. Sure. Okay, so now we're going to take in this side and this side. I, E, and S. Let's keep it on the same, so there. Okay, that gave us another interesting shape. I guess I'll do that up here too. What do I do? Just let's divide it and divide once more. Sure. Grab these two items and these two items. I, E, S, and put that just along the x-axis for scaling. Okay, that works. Cool. 3 more. This one should be more chaotic. E. Let's go for R, E, R, E. Hey, E. There. Okay, so we got some random extrusion going on now. E. E, E, R, E, R, E. No, I want E again. Extract that one out, scale it down, rotate it a bit, extract again, R, extract again, R, there. And then let's I, E, E, S, E, S. There. Okay. I don't want to keep it. Yeah, whatever. That one's fine. Next side. We'll do another form of random junk. We'll try to split this one apart a little bit more. E. So far, the sizes look about the same. Okay, maybe that side doesn't stick out as much as this side, though. That's okay. All right, so I got that one. Let's do a divide here. Control Z. Okay, subdivide, and then let's put that by 4. That'll do. There. E. There. Gives us something to work with. S. Expand that out. And then here, we're going to go to S1. Okay, that was not intended. S2. 0.3. 0.4. 0.5. There we go. I'll go with that. All right. S.5. That was not what I wanted. All right. Now E. R. G. Y. E extracted out, and let's go with E this way and E that way and E this way. All right, now divide this one. Let's put a couple extra lines in here. So 1. I want to knife. I forgot the command for that one. Extrude vertices, reveal vertices. I want to... Where's the knife? I want to cut this. Edge, extrude, no. Slice, face. I forgot the knife tool. Okay, blender, knife. Blender, knife, cut face. Okay. To add a straight line constraint, press Z while cutting. Okay, so wait a minute. Z, that just sets the straight line to that particular axis. Okay, for angle constants, you see, what the heck? I don't... All right, so select the object. Got it. And then K. There we go. That's what I was looking for. dot to focus. Spin around to the other side, and same thing. K, select from there to there, and enter. Good. Now that I got that one, I can take this side of it, 2, and let's move it out a bit. Shrink it down just a little bit and move it back as well. Obviously, this is a broken part of the object. All right, 3, select the entire face, and F, or E to extrude. Cool. All right, good enough. Other side, extrude, GY, R, random twist, E, E. And let's go with G. Move that one a little bit. Twist on there. E. Okay, I will select 2 for that one, and G, just move that out a little bit that way. Okay, that side's done. That leaves us on the last side. That does extend out a little bit farther, not too much. Basically, I want to keep this thing close to a circle for its design shape. Oh, let's put that in there. All right, 3, last one. This side. You know what? I'm going to select the faces over here first. Let's switch this to dot. If you have the faces on, when you try to select, it doesn't select through the object, but in this case, I get the points on both sides. Now let's do a scale to along the, what is this one? X-axis. There. Little, right about there. And then G, X to move it. And then same thing, let's select these ones down here. And let's go GX, no, GZ there. That side seems good. All right, one more. Okay, select this one, 3 dot, dot to focus, there. E, divide, and let's increase the number of faces. Select something awkward, and then E, S, select these ones, E, expand. Doesn't matter if these ones match up. E. All right, now we're going to start extracting these ones. E1. Let's go with 2. E2, E2, and E2. All right, so now I'll just keep that one as is. We got those two faces selected. Let's grab these ones as well. GZ, drop it down. Yeah. Point it up. All right. E. That'll work. And now S. And now let's go for SZ to flatten it back down. Now there was a button in here to make it closer to a circle shape. Let's go find that one. Blender, deform selection into sphere. It's a deform modifier. Okay. Edit mode, select the faces or edices. Okay. Shift Alt S. Okay. So back into here. Shift Alt S. Okay. I made that a little bit more spherized. Now let's take the outside of this and do the same. Now, Shift Alt S. All right, and same thing over here. All right, that screws with the values inside of there, but that's okay, because I'm going to select just these ones. Now, and let's go GZ to move it up and get that out of there. Cool. And let's also go with I to right there, E. Awesome. This is also pretty large on this size. Let's expand that out. Yeah, let's shrink this one down. So if I take, give me back to this side. No, I need it right around here. There. We're going to go SZ. We're going to flatten this whole spot down a bit, and then GZ to move it down around there. All right, that works for me. I think this object is done now, except, well, it's modeled. Nope. Well, yeah, might as well save it. Assets, Vigilante 41, models, and this one is going to be junk. Save the Blender file, return to this mode, and now let's go over to, where's my UV editing? All right, a lot of the UVs inside of this overlap, and it's based off the original cube that I extruded it from. So I need to expand this one out, or basically just redo the UV. So first off, I'm going to select all the faces, and now UV unwrap, and we just pick different ones. It doesn't, honestly, for junk, it doesn't matter too much. Let's go angle-based. No. I don't know them too well. Smart UV project. I don't think that's... No, I would like more connections. Some of these I see get their connection in here a lot better. Actually, that... Okay. Yeah, I like it. Excellent. Okay, so save it. So we got that one in there. Now, if I were to put a material, that's not on this one. I pulled everything in to get a door from this, and I was just waiting and built the other object while I was waiting. So let's go take advantage of the heavy station kit that I've pulled in for now. And what am I going to take from it? Let's go to prefabs and doors. There's that one. Wait, what is all this stuff? Oh, preview. I've got the images in here. Got it. Inactive, none. It's got some texturing issues. Not quite what I'm looking for. How about grills, rails, props, pipeline? Pipeline? What material are you using? Why are these materials all messed up? Because you're using the standard shader. And this one no longer has the ability to convert that over. I missed that ability. So I'll do it manually. Let's go over to here and go to Unreal Render Pipeline and... Oh, where are you storing the textures? Select one of them. Okay, you're down here, B wall 2, in case it doesn't carry over. Unreal Render Pipeline. I want lit. Unreal Render Pipeline, no. All right, so what have we got in the model? Okay, generally that looks good. Cool. This also looks like it might work for a junk model. Let's pull in a piece of junk right in here. Maybe this has junk in it. No. We'll just leave it. It's supposed to be, it's dead water for now. And I want to remove that face. Can I do that? Where did you come from? You came from this mesh over here. All right. Modified, no. Remove component, no. Where are you? No, where's the mesh? This exists only in the scene. Okay, I deleted the object before, so I don't even know what makes this one before from. And so the actual mesh is serialized into the entire scene. I deleted some of the assets, and this is why the scene now takes forever to load. Okay. Should probably work on saving that back out. Okay, not concerned with it at the moment. Let's just search in here for Trench 5, see if I still have that. Like, this is not the graphics that I'm planning on using in the end. So we got Trench 01. Do we have Trench 5 in here? Trench 5. There we go. Now, what file are you stored in? Oh, I'm looking at it, right? Yeah, this is it. Okay, get rid of that. We keep our selection. Trench 5. Oh, prefab. No, this is the actual import. So now, show and explore. FBX file. All right. Hey, Blender. Where are you? There we go. All right, let's go back to layout. We got the object here. Let's go File, Open, and yes, save it. It's all saved. Oh, no. File, Open. All right, there we go. Where was the actual file? No, how do I just show all files? I have to import, don't I? Okay, we'll do import file. The problem is that, as far as I was aware, imports it into the existing model package, and that's not what I want. Oh, well, let's just do new. There we go. General, file, import, FBX, paste that, and now I can select Trench 05, open. Oh, yeah, it's got the cube because it imported it. It's got the object in there. I'm going to delete the extra stuff. No lights, no camera. Now we got over here, and let's make a tunnel. Tab, which this one should be pretty easy. Select there, delete, faces. Okay, now I need to select these lines. Why does that look like it's double lined? 2. And then E. What is this along the Z? No, sorry, X. There we go. So now we've got a tunnel that heads out of here. I wonder what that's going to do to the physics. This would be another reason to get my physics into here because that doesn't matter. Oh, I didn't extrude from that side. What? Select there and there and there and there. Now, E. And this is along the Y? No, X-axis there. All right. Then I guess the only other thing on this one is it needs to start heading down or something like that. I just need to get the player out of this mentality of where they are. So let's go with X. Sure. And then S. And then I want this to be darkening up as they're driving into it. So let's go with RY. GZ. Go a little farther. E. I guess we'll go with Y. No. X. GZ. Drop it down more. GY. Z. No, X. Bring it in. Rotate. This needs to be along the Y axis. Okay, so as long as this thing is just heading off into darkness, I can just do this. E. We are in the boundaries of the world, so I guess in this one it's Z, straight down. Okay, that one's done. Control S. And we need to export this one back into there. We're going to call this one replace. Where did it just take us? Escape. Control S. Oh, replace trench 05. Save. Since I extruded it from these sides, it should use the same material that was used in that side, which is probably fine, but I might need to come back and alter that. Now let's return back to the game. All right, so I've got this object. Now let's replace the mesh, which needs to be from replace. Hey. All right, I'll go find it manually then. All right, models, materials, models. Where's the car? replace trench 05, select that and that. There. Trench 05. It won't let me replace that. Can I just drag the new one in? All right. Now let's go rotate this. Oh, set that by 0. Okay, position can generally stay. Let's put that, what was that, 90? Negative 90. All right, set to 90 for there. Now position, let's make sure it overlaps. Hey, select this object. Okay, now the scale in this is much smaller. I think I doubled everything in here. What? The scale is definitely much smaller. Okay, let's try 0.2. 0.02, 0.02, and 0.02. Did this pull in a light with it? Why did that glow so brightly? All right, now for the position, we need the 05 trench that's here, and let's copy the transform information. Let's copy the transform position. Copy, position. Scroll down, replace trench to this one, paste, position. Well, something didn't like that. That's not the position that I put in. There's an offset in the world, isn't there? I imported that, and maybe the original one has an offset that's based off of where it was located within the city structure. So in that case, let's undo this change, and now let's just vertex snap it. All right. Okay, I've probably got lots of vertices, so let's go V. There. That overlaps, and overlaps perfectly. Good. So now I need the material for this one. So let's copy this one. Copy. It's not what I meant. Oh, prefab, unpack. All right, so now that we've got that one, let's replace the mesh that's in here. Oh, my level editing is expensive in processing time because of the fact that I probably have all of these building meshes extracted out and saved to the actual scene file. What is my scene file size? Scenes. Show and explore. 18 megs. Open with Notepad. I want to look for a long... Yeah, look at all this. That's a lot of data. Is that vertex data? Yeah, it's storing the mesh information directly in the scene. Expensive. Not what I wanted. But whatever the case, that's something to repair in the newer version anyway. And for the compiled version, it should be fine. Okay, what I'm looking for is over on Trench 5. Should be like right up here. Trench 5. There we go. I need to copy the mesh renderer. Oh, and the collider. Yeah, the collider will just use its own object. Mesh renderer. Copy component. Now over to our new one. Paste component values. There. Next, I need the just the collider. I need a mesh collider. Okay, and now let's disable this one. Oh, that object cuts right into it. What are you doing there anyway? And you go a little deeper than that. Okay, well, why don't we just modify you slightly by selecting the rectangular transform tool and offset you upward. There, it's below the ground and above this thing. Then I affected a little bit of the texture stretching, but not a big deal. All right, go back to this transform tool, select the overview, and escape. Okay, now what's the mesh collider look like? That's convex. I don't want a collider right there. All right, let's see how this handles. I'm going to get in the car and I'm just going to drive over to it and see if I can go down the tunnel. I'll probably need to manipulate how the physics is laid out for this one. How do I get home? I'm not even near home right now. Oh, I think that's it right there. That's not it. All right, that worked. Now, all of these edges just stretch out, so that doesn't work in the what I imported. So let's change that one over back into Blender, and let's go to UV mapping. All right, the UV mapping. It's only the new ones that I need to manipulate. Hey, let's pull in the material for this one. That way I can see what I'm doing. Where is the material? Back in here, we're going to select the mesh renderer. There's the material, which is Trench 05, and the albedo is over here. Select, which is this one. All right, copy path. Show and explore, that works too. This is Trench 05A. Control C, and now back into Blender. All right, so now let's create a material for this one. Well, let's put the material on this side too. Material, and for, what do I set for the albedo? Was it this? I need a texture, image texture. Open, we're gonna put this here, Control V, enter, and Trench 05A. There we go. What is, oh, okay, got it. Cool. Now, if I'm on this side, 2, 3, select, I can see which objects, yeah, they're extracting directly from this stuff. Great. So what about here? This is probably the type that I want to use. Perfect. Okay, so just outline these squares. Excellent, I'll take that. Now let's select this face, which is just a line. Now where can I do a rectangle tool? Select box. Oh yeah, let's do it this way. No. Give me the dots. There. So now I've got all those faces selected. Let's do a UV unwrap and smart projection. Sure, I don't care. All right, now we're going to start grabbing each of these individual faces. And I guess they are shorter. Do I have a smaller section? Oh, whatever. Let's just select here. Can I just move this to G0? No. GY. Oh, got it. These are still attached. Okay. I don't have each of the faces separated out here. No, I want them to overlap and I want them to be separated. So let's go back to here and let's say this one. Okay, let's do a different one. UV unwrap. I need something where I separate each one of these individual cube sections. So unwrap. Continuously unwrap the UV selection while transforming the pin vertices. No. Okay, I think these are all separate now, so I should be able to just G move. Yes, okay, perfect. That's what I'm looking for, and they're all about the size that I'm looking for. Now we're going to do SY. No, X. Can I just move one side? 2. GY. GX. GX. Okay. Now, there's got to be a way that I can set all of these positions to the same points. So I just want these objects, the ones that I just put in. All right, let's switch this one back over to view the object. That's actually not bad. Set up like that. Okay. All right. Yeah, there's some odd information on there or texturing on it, but generally that works. Okay, let's go to a slightly better view. No lighting, so maybe not that better of a view. All right, save it and return to Unity. Let's see what this looks like in here. Those lines should go over to tunnel. Much better. Play. Start. Not there. Is that over here? No, that's not the spot. All right. Now I just need to darken the area. All right. We have an exit in the game. I can also reuse that exit in several other places too, but I have to basically set these tunnels up in the water. I need to change how the water is set up to do that. But I'll just keep it to this spot for now. We have one way to get out to find it, and it's right near the beginning of the game because this is where we start in the game. So we've got that tunnel. That is the only tunnel in the game right now, so should attract. If I can put some extra attention here, like warning, do not enter sign, which should attract the player to enter. All right, so save what I got. Where's this one? Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. This console. There we go. Get a dot. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I did not mean to add all this stuff. I didn't even need it in the end. I'm using the materials. Okay, I don't want all that stuff. Let's use one of the visual tools. It's easier to remove things in the visual tools. At least I don't know how to do it otherwise. I mean, individual lines, I could remove individual file by file. And I imagine it's probably not too hard to just remove an entire section like this. These are changes, files that we have added to this. Ultimately, I didn't end up using any of them though, because I haven't pulled in an object for this. Where's there? Got it. So that's all new stuff. Discard. That'll remove the objects that I added to the game, which is perfect. Cleans all the extra stuff up too. Doesn't clean up the folders. The folders are still going to be there. Not too big of a deal though. What time is it? Okay. 12:45. Message. Still discarding. All right, well, that's running. I don't want to go back into Unity until that's done because it's going to have to reload everything. All right, junkyard searching. The next thing we need to start doing is developing up the junkyard. Okay, so the junkyard appearance for now, I could keep this as another part of the city and just keep it as like an empty shell of the city that I fill with a whole bunch of junk. All right, inside of this one, I'm going to need the snap tool, and I'm going to need the custom snap tool that I created, and I'm also going to need a randomizer for what orientation it's going to sit on. Are you still going? I wish that one could give me an update, like tell me how much it's finished for these files. You're deleting files. How long does it take? And how do I prevent it from going to the recycle bin? I deactivate the recycle bin. I don't want it at a recycling bin. Now I take that back. I guess there are rare chances that I want to have a recycle bin available. All right, well, that's taking forever, so let me find something else to do. Okay, junkyard. Junkyard searching. We need a junkyard. The junkyard is supposed to have... It's supposed to be literally on the ground, like the earth, where you have dirt, mountains, water, trees. Um, in the game's lore, most all of human civilization has moved up into the clouds. In anti gravity tech is just entirely normal, and Earth has kind of become the junkyard. It's in better condition in a lot of cases, but because there's not humans there, but stuff is still just falling. So they'll come down back down to here. There are some mining operations, etc. But um, most of the stuff happens up closer to the border of space. And it's more along the lines of like asteroid mining that gets us the new things that we're looking for. You still doesn't actually give me any clear indicator of how long it's going to take. Okay, so we need a junkyard. However, if I put the ground in there, then I'm going to be committing to an art style. Let's go back to this. So right now, this is my art style in the game. Generally speaking, I think this will work for a lot of the structure that we're in. So inside of the game lore, there's supposed to be three types of environments. So the first one is the poor. So you live in a poor neighborhood. You have less that's under control. You can see that there's obviously like technology and stuff, but it's not like a clean setup, which is what this is supposed to be. It's like there's lots of exposed things. This is not very clear. You can get to the panels and to the things happening that show that there's something going on very clearly. Middle class in this game is going to be showing things, but it'll be pristine to a certain degree. It'll be pristine in a way that allows for very rugged use. But at the same time, certain pieces of technology will stand out and they'll be fairly common, but things will fit better. Like right now, there's no road marker here, and there's not supposed to be in this neighborhood. But then in the rich area, everything is pristine. The technology is hidden. You know it's there, but it's hidden. And they'll have the most interesting architecture. So this is very cubic in nature. All right, so I do have control of this. What's going on with this one? Oh, yes. Okay, nice. Yeah, it put those back. Whatever, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Perfect. Now, let's commit this. I'll just do it here. All right, so the message is, what did I just change in this one? Oh, escape tunnel created and added near game start. No lost heat. There. And that's taking its time. Whatever. I don't need this system up anyway. All right. Get status. Get push. Cool. Okay, so back in the game, we got the tunnel. We need to get darkness in here to be the point where we're starting to head out into this. And basically, I'll just put a timer that if you are facing into this, I don't want to. I just want to give it a barrier. So I guess like as you start heading into it, we do see that you can drive into it, and you start getting to about here. And the darkness needs to start settling. It doesn't even need darkness. I mean, you get to here, and then that's good. It just starts the conversion. You're now going off to the new area. All right, I'll leave it at that. Now let's start. Do I need a new scene for this? Do I make? Everything in this game was designed off one scene, so I don't need to load new content all the time. That's another reason to develop the new one. However, in this case, I guess I could just move off into the distance, but I don't want the physics math to be messed up. I could disable the parent objects as well. So disable the zones, disable the traffic system, because there's no traffic in the new one. This is getting farther off the design that I was hoping for. It also means the initial scene load's going to be more expensive, but it's low so far, so... All right, yeah, I guess I'll do this outside of it. Let's create... What is this? What is this Y positive minus? Oh, that's the world. All right, so let's create a parent object for this world. Oh, city. Neighborhood. All right, city neighborhood, and then we've got all these ones that go into the city neighborhood. Good. Okay. Oh, Control Z that, and then put city neighborhood at 0. All right, replace trench 5. Traffic car. Do I take the traffic car with me to the... Yeah, keep the traffic car. That uses the same thing. Will I have a space to save and get back? I suppose when you're going through the junkyard area that you will just have to return, and it's not until you can return to a depot that you can bring the stuff back. Okay, yeah, let's do that. City neighborhood, traffic car. Player car, traffic. Oh, traffic car shouldn't even be there. Camera chaser, those are both elements that stay in the game anywhere we go. Main UI, the UI, sure, same thing. Main camera, yes, the camera just follows you around. Systems, I will need to turn off some of the systems. Okay, so I need a point that will indicate that we translate to the new part of the world, and then I also need to exit this world. This is all largely above the 0. So I will keep that one and work my way down. And then I could actually put a sky dome over it. All right, that's cool. Mm. Okay, city neighborhood. How are we going to make this one look? I need junkyard assets of what the junkyard's going to look like. Unless... What if I make the junkyard smaller and just literally attach it right here? Okay. That will make that a lot easier. All right. Yeah. The assets have chosen. Let's build out the room. What's happening with this piece? Does anything use this? Nothing uses this. Okay. That's an exit hole in the world, but that's because it's covered up by these other larger objects. Yeah, nothing can see or use that. I've got cleanup in the world to do, but that's not going to matter once I get the new rendering system in. The world has to be rebuilt for it. So let's go Control Z. Z. No. Okay. Oh yeah, in this one I just need to move the object. All right, let's do rotate and by 90 degrees. There. Now let's get a vertex snap. What's our position setup? Okay, Z. V. I'm going to vertex snap this corner up to here. That works. That puts us straight into that world. We got a face there. Let's do another face over here. Control D and put a corner on. Did I just duplicate that? Yeah, I did. All right. E. Okay, now let's vertex snap this one as well. Not what I wanted. Control Z. Let's move that over just a little bit. So, well, whatever, that's fine. So from this corner, that just connects straight up into the tunnel. Now we need to close off a few of the other spots here. There's also a bigger boxier section to add, which is like one of these. Yeah, Control D. Perfect, I'll go with that. First off, V, the inner one. Oh. Let's move that over. There we go. Now we select V over here and drag it to that corner over there. How's that look? Not good. Let's V. Does that overlap with this section I need? Yeah, that's what I was looking for. All right, now let's take this, Control D. And let's vertex snap that corner over to this one. Control D and vertex snap that corner over to this one. Cool. This seems like a reasonable sized junkyard space. Let's keep that one. All right, let's take that whole wall. Move up. Oh, move down. This one's a little bit more complicated for where it's going to move, because I've already got an object space that works here. So let's use it. All right. V, I want this one, and we're going to move it to, say, right there. That's the wrong spot, but it gets us started. So now we're over here. Let's grab the corner, V, and bring it right up here. There. What? Control C and then Control Z, Z, V. Hey, where's the new ones I just pasted? Okay, fine. We will move that one over now. V, grab that corner, move it to here. Excellent. Now this one, Control D. All right, where can I snap this one to? It should be pretty close to here. Oh, that one's already aligned, so I've got a corner right there. V to this V. No, come on. Fine, I'll just drag it in a little. All right, so I've got this area that exists. I don't have a ceiling. I do need a ceiling. Oh, and that really will give some more depth to the city, make it feel like it's this bigger place. All right, well, whatever. Let's go Control D, move this one up and oh, let's do that with the whole this one. Control D, move it up. We also want to scale it. Let's scale it this way. All right. All right, now I need to realign this over here. So T to give me the borders. And let's put in a snap over here. Wait. Thank you. Expand it by just a little bit more than I need. Now we're going to take vector this one and move it to there. Does that look like it aligns? Yes. Okay, that looks good. Now, do I overlap with this? Yes, that's fine. I can accept that. Okay, now I need to close off that section and it's done. All right, so we're going to take this one, Control D, and we're going to shrink it down. There we go. That will do. And now we're going to move this up. V. Oh, there's too much stuff over there. Pushed it way off into the background. I effectively just need that thing. V right over here. Let's see how close that works. Okay, there is a little bit of a gap here, so let's bring that down just a little bit for the whole object. There. Cool. Now, did that close the gap? Yeah, no gap there. Wait, how do we get... Oh, yeah, the whole thing needs to slide over. All right, that's cool. Slide over. That exposes this thing. Okay, right here. V, select that one and move it up to there. Perfect. We've got a slight overlap and it's painful to look at. We're going to expand this one out the same way we did with the other one. All right, so what is this one? This is our Y. Y? That's not right. Z. Z. Okay, that's our Z axis. That's not the one I want. I want this one. Oh, it's rotated too, so I'm not going to see the axis that I want. Okay, let's just drive it, see how it feels. And let's also switch my audio to overhead. Oh, this is set to full screen. Play maximum. Why can't I edit that here? This is like the perfect time to want to change the setting. All right, well, let's just do double click. Start. Okay, I think the way that I wanted to go was this way. I think I'm heading in the reverse direction now. All right, that's the truck route. So if the truck route's there, then heading down this way. All right, and then I want to go over this direction to get back to the original drop-off point. I should save my car back to that area. Excuse me. I'm just going to borrow that. There we go. Oh, head up to the mechanics first so I can save this point. All right, I'm now saved to this location. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, there's lots of space to work with. This is a junkyard. Okay, it goes on. It just feels like I'm in a whole nother area of the city. Good. So now with this one, let's treat it like it was a part of the city. The reflection on this side's pretty bad. I don't like the fact that it's still using the same environmental reflection. Well, whatever. I'll put in real reflection probes later. Oh, how do I find the exit? That's actually a little tough on this one. I have to go to one of the long sides. Not that one. So I need something to signify where that exit is. There it is. Okay. Oh, and depending on where I hit this, it comes out and it's like it was made from that spot. But then... Hi. Into traffic. That works. And if I'm over... Let's go to the other side for a second. So if I'm on here and I'm coming down... Ooh, what's this? Okay, yeah, it's just an awkward space. That's fine. All right, good with this one. Let's go stop. Save it. Now, return over to console. Git add dot, make sure the scene is saved. Junkyard space is available. All right, is that in there? And get push. Sure. All right, so now that we've got this space in here, I need to start filling it with junk. Let's go try out some junk. So to begin with, we've got the textures that we're using for this stuff as is for the trench. Let's go pick what that trench material is. Trench 5. Okay, trench 5 for the material. I can just select the same thing again. I can also just try any other material. Let's drag in the junk now. Get rid of those. Get rid of that stuff. I did just duplicate the city, so I lost track of where all those buildings were in the design, but whatever, that's fine. Now, junk is over in my models. Let's pull that in, junk. Let's drag that here. All right, hard to make anything out of this. For the material, we're now going to select trench 5. Then it actually matches the background stuff. That's actually not a bad choice then. Okay, now let's scale this one up. And let's put on the snap component. Expand out snapping, and I want random rotation in this. So let's go to snap, and let's do public bool use random rotation. All right, so to begin with, that's false. Now when we update the grid, we're setting up the position. Well, I don't care about the grid. Update alignment. What am I doing with this one? Snap editor, we take the position, we move the mouse, we're just setting what those values are. So in the update, got it. If we are aligning position, align rotation in move mode. Okay, update alignment is where we're going to handle this one. F12. So now inside of this one, when we're setting these other values, we're going to do an additional check. If use random rotation, then I need a random rotation. Why am I... How do I get a random rotation? I've done this like 50 times before, but I'm not recalling anything right now. Unity C#, get a random rotation. See what it comes up with. Random range. Okay. So just random range for each of the directions, basing it off of Euler. Okay. Euler. And so transform dot rotate. Let's give it a random rotation. Rotate, and then this is new vector 3 random for each one I need to do a unique one. So random dot random dot inside unit circle. Okay, and then the rotation is times 360. Okay, that should give me the possibility that it can rotate in any direction, because that'll give me up to 360 on any one of the axis, using it pretending that it's the Euler rotation. Perfect, I think. Let's find out. All right, so this one's on here, and now it's use align position. So as I select this one, did I add some other code to this? Oh, I need align position. It's not. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Okay, now random rotation. There we go. Now Control D, Grab the next one. That goes over here. Control D. Grab the next one. Sure. So now I have this random junk scattered around. All right. And then what are each of these ones? Select that. We got junk. Let's grab all three of them. Control D. Drag the... Hey, I'm dragging these around. You know, like react. Multi-editing selection not accepted. That's because every single object would be trying to move to the same spot anyway. So, all right, that's a problem with my current code. All right, let's move that over here. Select this one, move it over here. Select this one and move it over here. All right, now the way this one is, stop that. I do want these to have larger elements in here. So, but also let's put in some building inside of this, or some building structure, like there's a bit of a city happening in here. Well, that's a very simple building. How about a small city block? Sure, like that one. Wait, where's the drop point? Uh, that's the entrance. Why is that whole thing gone? Did I delete that? Oh no. What? Why is it gone? There's nothing there. Oh, why is this disabled? Okay, that's... I must have hit some hotkey that disabled it. All right, cool. I can accept that. All right, now inside of here, Control V. Let's put a snap on it for a moment. Add snap. Align rotation and position. Let's rotate the X by 90. Oh, negative 90. Okay, that gives me a city structure element that I can add on top of this. Let's also scale this up. S, no, S. Control D, and now let's drag the one over here. Let's put that one farther over. Select this and put it over like maybe here. All right, both of those need to be just below the surface. Turn off snap. Let's turn off the snap now and set the Y, not the Y, X. There. Okay, so there is some other city here. Now, the next time that I bake, I am going to get a set of traffic that will make its way down here, and that kind of destroys the purpose of it, of what's going on. I want the rest of the city traffic to ignore it. It's supposed to be a quiet space. All right, well, anyway, let's grab another one of these. Duplicate it, turn snap on, move it over here. All right, that works. Turn snap off. Now let's rotate. There. Oh, and drop it beneath the ground a little bit. E. Let's do one more. Control D. Turn snap on and drag this one just over here. Okay, can I set the Y just below the ground? I don't think that was actually doing anything. All right, whatever. I will leave that one alone. Turn snap off and drag it just below the surface. And how is my exit point? Okay, so now I've got some landmarks in here. I got some various building traffic that moves around. Nothing on the ceiling, so I've got a large flat section. Then I'm going to keep lots of junk on the ground. This is one of the few ways you can tell which way is up in this game. The disabled junk. Everything else has anti-gravity tech into it. All right, so now let's increase these junk objects size for now. Let's go to a scale of 20. There we go. Now, grabbing each individual one, let's start moving it around. Let's put that one over here. These ones shouldn't have colliders. I should put another basic collider so we kind of travel over this. Colliders are a problem with the junk. I need the collider to take... I guess I'll take a spherical collider on that one. It still feels like I should throw in some random distortions in how it moves, though. Hmm. I'm going to leave the physics on as is in this one. I just have to make sure that the car baking, traffic baking doesn't pick anything up. I'll leave that one alone. I haven't modified anything in the main system that should bother with it. All right, so now let's start bringing this traffic or this construction junk a little farther out. Control D. All right, now I need... They don't have colliders, though. Huh. Start. So, okay, I guess I will just be driving into them, that there is no collider mesh on it. Okay, that's big enough to actually... Yeah, given the size of that, I think that works. So, okay, we got some large thing over here. Oh, nice. This gives me a lot more opportunities for ways to hide this stuff. So, like, normally you might want to just travel on the walls above it, but otherwise you can actually travel around inside. The material over here, like the reflections, really don't work in this. Very easy to lose my orientation. I feel like I should have a compass. A three-dimensional compass that works in this. Go this way. Ooh, is that a building? Or am I in the back wall? I'm on the back wall. Okay. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. Got another city building block over here. Oh, whatever. I got the speed. Let's use it. Oh, I was facing a wall there. I didn't get to the end. Okay. Yeah, it almost looks like it's floating. I got to do something about that. Reflections in this particular spot are bad. Okay, keeping the junk colliders. I feel like I should also mark out what buildings are in there and set a junk arena area. So let's take a step back. No, why are you selecting all that stuff up there? Because it's within that region. No, 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 no. Do you have a couple child elements that are... I do, yes. Okay, got it. So this will work. I'll keep replace trench in here as well. So let's create an object called junkyard. Plus create empty junkyard. Oh, caps lock is on. All right, now let's select just the items I need. And that one. And now let's move the selection. If I scroll down to here, I can move this all into junkyard. Excellent. So now if I select junkyard, why do I have all that stuff? That's not part of it. Zone C, right? Okay, so we got 2 items. I dragged and moved this one. It's not actually part of this one. Okay, fine. How do I do this? Goodbye, prefab. It's not like I'm really using you anyway. Prefab, unpack. Make sure all these elements are inside the junkyard. Now, if I select all these, and that one, and that one, that's everything in the junkyard. Good. Okay. Junkyard is now isolated to its own lockdown area for design. All of those have the stuff they need for it. I feel like maybe I just take a... When I enter this one, should I set a different zone? Or can I do something else? All right, let's create a different material for this one for right now. So this one should have reflections, but the reflections should be a lot lighter. What material are you using? So over here we have this, and that takes me to materials. Which one? Select it again, please. There. All right, now inside of this one, custom, we got the albedo. How about... Let's duplicate it. Okay, Control D. And let's go up into assets, materials, go. Now, if I select the bottom over here again, and I were to take this building 9 material and put it into this, I should now be able to modify this one. Shadows, yes. Okay, cool. Material, now with the normal, let's... Because down here, the reflection is terrible on that one. Oh, there we go. Oh, like that. Much dimmer, darker area. Okay, and each of these ones are cubes from that... Oh, no, this is a different one. What do you use? Building 8. All right. Building 8 is over here. Control D. And let's move that up into our materials. Okay, and we're going to reset the materials that I'm using for this one. So this is all building 8. Those are 9s. And building 888. Now we're going to set the material to building 81. And we're going to go to 9s. Because we have 2 of those. And we're going to set this one to use building 9, 1. All right, so now let's go to building 8, 1. And now the smoothness factor. Yeah, it's kind of a dead area. Okay, this all uses the same stuff. So building set 1 material. Select it. Control D. We're going to take the copy, put it into our materials. There. And this stuff will be dim as well. Materials, buildings. Yeah. All right, so now for that material, it is this one. What are these called? Building set. There. That one gets building set 01 material. Excellent. Now, this one is low, and this one should be low as well. All right, let's see what that looks like in gameplay. Immediate jump in material here. I feel like this one should get a custom material with something that changes. I also have a little bit of an overlap right there. To consider how to change that one. My junk, I think all the junk in here uses the shinier reflections, which is not something I want. Let's switch the junk over. Let's test some different ones. Stop. And now I have to go back over into this one. I keep meaning to switch us back over to... I keep waiting for Unity to do random things that it doesn't clarify what it's trying to do. The deeper I get into Unity and want this stuff to work, the more I'm finding I just want to replace Unity. Which I guess that's kind of a reason. Unity doesn't want you going too low level on this stuff, because then you have to get away from their tooling. And the more you get away from their tooling, the more you fight with the areas you have to use their tooling. But there's still enough of it that I like release management, the rendering system. I haven't done rendering systems. I've tapped into a lot of the areas along the rendering tools or the rendering pipeline, but not this, or yeah, not enough to like take over drawing the shaders and getting everything up. All right, so what are we here? We're going over to game view, maximized, play focused. We'll leave it at that. Scene view. What did I just change? Oh, I need the junk materials. Let's see what they look like. Where's my view options? Not that one. Layers. Okay, I've got everything. That's 140. All right. I need to leave in about 40 minutes. It does have a different color. I need something to mark this spot out as well. The fact that it's a different color in that corner does help it stand out a little bit, but I can't see it very well until I'm like right on the wall over here looking that way, or I'm on the wall somewhere in this area and looking that way. If I put something on this side to signify what side it is, that should make it easier. All right, next, what have we got? All of this junk inside of here. Junk, junk. And we're going to reset the material to one of these ones. Okay, let's try this again. Oops, too far. Okay, so it's very difficult to travel around here. It's its own separate type of challenge. All right, I like that. Oh, yeah, and I'm just traveling along the junk right now. A lot of it would fall, the stuff that I'd be trying to find would fall down here. But I want to travel up in this case. So from the other cities, from the city buildings, that would allow me to see elements that are on here. Nice. Okay. From these areas, that gives me a nice view of the rest of the junk in here. It's basically a big game of pinball. All right, so now I need junk that I can start to collect. That could be like freight cubes like I was using before, but in this case, I think it needs to be more specialty. Um, Time to pull in that other system again and grab some additional materials. All right, let's go back to the heavy set. Where is that? This one. No, that's where we exist, but I need assets and it's in heavy station kit. And let's go find our other heavy station kit. Not there. Not there. It's not what I meant. Close it. Try this again. No, I don't need that one. I don't need that one. This one. This is the one. All right. Heavy station kit, base kit, and common. Copy, and let's put it back into here. Okay, while that's going, what are the next sections that I need to get in? Um, it's the junk pieces. We need to be able to find them. We have to locate them. I had a UI system that I built before where it would start to identify and mark out points of interest in the environment. And actually highlight them on the screen. And I had this effect where the information would bubble off to the side, and then it would have a line connecting to the element within the 3D environment. And it would also move along. So if it's closer to this side, the bubble of information would move closer to that side, but it wouldn't consume the center of the screen either. All right, skip the existing files. Next, back into here, that's going to start loading what it's doing. I do not want to add stuff yet. I did make material changes, but whatever. All the material changes I removed from that folder area. So that means any additions should not come from the heavy station kit. So I should be able to remove anything that I had in there. Additionally, after I back that out, I back out any changes to the heavy station kit. I should be able to identify whatever's left and remove those out to my own folders as well. I need the Asset Explorer. What was that one? Over here. I think that's it, but why didn't it bring me to one in the Unity Asset Store? That's rather annoying. Okay, Bing search results seem to be getting terrible again. I'm going to try Google. Of course, I typed that all in caps, so maybe it's unhappy with that. Let's see what Google can make of this. Runtime file browser, that's better. Do you have a link? Not what I'm looking for. Runtime file browser, no. Fine. Unity Asset Store. Asset Explorer. This is one of those assets that feels like it should be inside of the actual environment. So what is this? Essentials? No. Templates 3D tools. Not that stuff. Tools. Should be part of IDE. None of them want me to find this right now. There's a really good tool for it. Okay, let's change this. Unity Asset Store. Asset Explorer. If I change the order of it, okay, I think this is what I want. Powerful cross-platform tool that helps extract art assets from Unity games and exports them asset bundles and built-in resources, allowing developers and modders to manage that quickly and efficiently. I think this is what I wanted, but it costs. Features how it works. Wait a minute. Is this one free? Open source and completely free. There's a tool for this that's free. I haven't been getting this because I found one that I finally found one that looked good, and okay, I'll come back to that. And we'll come back to that later. Right now, back inside of here, that's all imported now, maybe? You were waiting for me to come back to choose to import all the assets. Okay, thank you. Just leave that up there. All right. Hey, is everything imported now? Because you got rid of the... Why am I waiting again? Okay, Unity really needs to update this so that it starts telling us more information about what they're doing. Like there's background tasks, but I can't click on the background tasks while that's running. That's not project settings I want. So I can see the background tasks, but that doesn't help me if the environment doesn't respond to it. Show me like what code. Give me a button in there that says or that allows me to see like console log or details of like what function started off this wait cycle. Something along those lines. Generally, it's got to be an editor tool or a function that's interrupting what's going on, and you could tell like what namespace it is, what library it is. All right, 350, 150. All right, we're going to need some stuff in here for lights, but I think the lighting needs to be broken. I also don't have light decoration in this environment at all. Is that the side to leave from? Okay, so we got the objects. Now I need the items inside of here. So we need equipment. Let's go to prefabs for this one so I can see what they've got. Prefabs, walls, stairs, props. Nothing is in URP. Heavy station kit. Common. Base. What about packages? Do you have a Unity package to update this? Go back into common materials, prefab, scripts. Heavy station kit. Doesn't this support URP? Or do I have to go to like each one of the individual ones and update it now? Okay, what was the heavy station kit? Unity Asset Store Heavy Station Kit. That's it. All right. Now, do you support URP? You claim you do. How do I set up the URP package? Installation guidelines. Okay. How do you set up URP? Because you're not set up for URP right now. That seems like something to put in there for installation guides. I don't want to have to do this for everything, but let's just go to materials. Materials within this. So let's. Why am I holding on? What changed? Nothing changed. All right. What is it? Slash T colon material. What? How do I select that? What was it? Material. T colon material. I didn't need to put the slash in. All right. So we're going to select everything that's pink, which is probably going to be a lot. Let's expand that out. Oh, that's not. Yeah, leave that one alone. Okay, so now on all of these, we're going to reset the shader to URP lit. Okay, hopefully that actually worked for most of it. If not, it should be close enough. All right, now for prefabs. All right, prefabs. What do we got? Props. What? Oh, it just hasn't updated the thumbnails yet. Oh, this is missing texturing. So if I go to this one, I go to the prop, and then let's select this. The base map never got set. So over here, what have we got? We got that one. And now, which one was that? Okay, B2 props M. And now I need B2 props A to go into here. There. Now I go back to props. Oh, that's in textures. Props. Okay, much better looking materials. How about lighting? Do we have anything for lighting? B2 props 1. These ones. Okay, same issue. All right, so we're going to pass this into there. Done. And what's the next one? I don't have a quick way to jump back to where I was from here. Maybe there's a hotkey to refocus on the area you were just in, but not that it is not undo. All right, so that's properties, prefabs, meshes, materials. Materials, props. There we go. Okay. B2. This is all B2. So select, select, select. And now from here, we're going to select. Is this going to destroy my selection? No, it still kept the original. Okay, good. Now I need to put this up there. Cool. Okay, try this again. Props. That's materials. I need prefabs. Props. All right, so every single one of those was upgraded by this one, but now let's go over to materials, props, and I feel like I'm missing another thing. Height map, emission map. It's got emission. Emission is marked on this, but it's notedly not glowing very much. Did the HDR get lost? I'll bet that's the case. Let's raise the intensity on this one. Okay, that might be too intense. Let's put some cubes in here. Okay, so as soon as we get in, let's give ourselves something to spot and get out of here. I'm going to take this object. Let's go to this one, move it over here. All right, that seems reasonable. Can I bring that up on top of one of the other ones? Like that. That seems good. Okay, now turn off the snap. This looks like a good spot to put one of the props. So prop. Oh, that's materials. Props. We're going to drop this item here. Oh, that is tiny. What is the scale you're coming in at? Look at that tiny little thing. What is this? What are you supposed to be? 100 by 100 by 100. Now it's way too big. All right, let's put 20 on it. Oh, I can't get to that. Can I? That looks like I can, but I'm not going to be able to see it very well. Let's go find its material. There's material, control, 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 control. The color is fine over there is fine. The HDR emission map is next to nothing on this thing, though. Is that really what the emission map is? Just that one little glowing item on it. Okay, so technically maybe this still has it, but let's do R. Let's look at this from different angles. Doesn't have anything. Okay, I need a way to see something on that, so let's shortcut it for the moment. Box, we got the box prefab. We're going to unpack you. And now inside of this, we're going to put in another cube. Create empty. Create empty. Yes. No, not create empty. Delete. I want a cube. Create 3D object cube. Okay, that puts us at something that's about the same size. Shows up primarily under it though. Let's put in a small rotation here. Let's do 45 by 45 by 45. 45. Actually, I guess we only need 2 by 45 by 45 by 0. There. Give me a rotation. There we go. All right. Now we're going to center this. Okay, let's do 30 by 30 by 30. 45 by 45 by 45. Maybe my positions are just off and it looks ugly. No, I'm not getting the rotation that I want. I can't get the shape that I want out of doing this one, can I? No, it seems like I should be able to. I just want to get the ends of this sticking out of the cube, but I don't know what rotational values to apply. Okay, first off, let's set it 0. So center it 0, 0, 0. Where does that put us? The center of the cube is at the bottom. So let's raise that. What is the... Can I go up by 1? 0.5. Got it. Okay, so now I am centered. Let's do some rotation and some scale. So scale, we're going to do 0.8, 0.8, and 0.8. Okay, now we're going to rotate. I just need this to stand out for now. So how exactly it looks when I do that is not as big of a deal. Okay, yeah, this is not going to do it the way that I was thinking it would. I guess for now, let's just highlight that and see what's going to show up. Let's get a highlight material. Materials, ours. Highlight. That'll do. Where are you? Right there. Okay. Let's play and make sure that that stands out when I come in. All right. I leave in about half an hour. All right, so right as I head down here, I get into the world and I can see what's around. Ah, that comes into view right as I'm coming out here. So it's hard to miss unless I turn right away. However, that distance feels like it should render it a little closer to that distance. All right, this has nothing in it to highlight it. I also need its size to match the other cubes pretty well. Freight cubes. I don't need to do anything else in here. I just am enjoying driving around right now. Okay. Stop. Can I add like a UI sign like right in here and just say, hey, this section's under construction? Let's do that. Let's go for add an object. Not that one. Another object. Plus empty. And in this one, we're going to go with snap and snap position. There. Okay, now let's add a UI element that's going to be in the scene. If I do this, then I can update the game that's out there and mark that it has the sound fixed in it. All right, so where do I put this UI? Sure, we'll just use the old one. I don't care for this one. We can go small on it. Okay, so in this one I need a image, and it has no image. So let's go with just select something at random. Well, whatever, its size should still show up. So inside of here, it puts it inside of a canvas automatically. This is going to be inside of world space. So the designer node, yes. The child element. Where's the rest of this? I hope you're actually going to show up 0, 0, 0. Ah, stop it. Okay, fine. I'll just drag you in here and take care of you this way. All right, for rotation, I'm going to offset this one. Snap to Z of something much bigger. Okay. Oh, yeah, duh, we need snap. Oh. Oh, that's the grid. Snap to is the grid. I need offset. That's what I'm manipulating wrong. Okay, not the axis I want. This is also not the axis I want. What? Okay, forget about that one. We'll do a rotation. Rotation's got to work, right? Okay, rotation's working. Good. Let's go with 90. Okay, excellent. Now let's just select something else for a second. Okay, select this object and turn the snap to off. What was I positioning? No, I wasn't positioning that. All right, cool. Now let's align this one away from the wall. Okay, now let's put a text element on this one. So on top of this, we put in, what is this? 3D object, UI, and text. Yes, import the essentials. We're going to change the text color to black. Oh, we are rotated in a direction I don't want. That's fine. We'll come back to that. So now, new text, we're going to make this smaller. I don't need this up there anymore. Font size, no, don't care, don't care. Junkyard under construction. Junkyard under construction. You might actually have something like that in the game. However, the setup of this one makes no sense for that. And so let's go to this and let's do some rotations. Not that one. That one. Junkyard under construction. Fine. Good. Now let's go to this. I'm going to set the size boundaries. Oh, I'm like way off center. Okay. Control Z. This one we're going to set to match the other one. There. That's now set to match, and we're going to auto size this. Junkyard under construction. That one word is too big. So let's shrink it down. Let's get rid of auto size. Junkyard under construction. Good enough for now. Let's just have the text glow white. Can I put an HDR? I can put an HDR. Come back. Means I can make that glow. All right, and then just get rid of the image. Put that here, and this goes here. Junkyard under construction, that's too bright. Okay. And then let's, yeah, I guess we'll just place it like right there. Cool. Let's see if that shows up in the game properly. Play. Junkyard under construction. That works nice. Okay. Cool. And then this part shows up in the world. It didn't show up originally because there was Because I think the shader was still rendering for in-game. I suppose I could treat that like a billboard and have it follow me around regularly. Cool. Save it all. The prefab models. I need to pull in the correct prefab models. Oh, I need to leave sooner than I thought. Okay, so I need to leave in about... I'm taking off out of here in about 5 minutes. I do not want to commit the current changes. Oh, wait a second. Save this. I can just exclude the additional changes that I threw in from the asset bundle. Okay, so save all this stuff. That way I can still get it committed. Where is GitHub Desktop? All right, so to begin with, we have these things. We got these materials. I'm not going to include them. Text Mesh Pro. Yeah, I should include that one. Text Mesh Pro, Heavy Station Kit. Update to that one. All right, so all of Heavy Station Kit that we added, we are not including in this one. I just want to ignore... Having a group of these selected and then unchecking one of them, just unchecks and selects that one instead of selecting or unchecking all of the selection. So if I select these, right click, I don't want to discard them. Exclude selected files. Is that what I'm supposed to do? Okay, good. Yes. Now, save this. Control. Make sure that the scene is saved. Testing findable junk. All right, I gotta head out. Commit. This way I don't lose what I'm doing. All right. That one's in there. Push that, and then while that's waiting, what is this one? Include selected files. We'll put them back in the include. I'm still not going to want to include them. Exclude selected files. Well, I can just keep it that way. Good. Everything else will be additive, and that should be applied to Git, not to GitHub Desktop. Cool. Okay, I got to take off. I will talk to everyone later. Bye.